All right, so here we are, motherfucking the end of season 1. It's been a fantastic season. There's been, I wouldn't call it downs. Yeah, I wouldn't call it down like a valley. But when the game came out, I think it was in a pretty good spot. It clearly had issues, but I think by the time we got to August, things started to even out. And by the time we got to October, things really evened out. There's been a number of tier lists now from some of the greatest and some of the latest. And everyone's pretty much on the same fence that you can pretty much play whoever you want. Which means you're in a really spot in time historically. Because normally, you know, you can just pick whoever the fuck you want. I've seen some tier lists for Street Fighter. Whoo! I mean, like, they had like a SAB, right? As far as it goes in Strive. But you got C, D, E. I don't know if they were memeing for the content or what. But, like, man, the further you go back in time, the bigger the disparity is. We talked about that last time. Like, Exard, boy, there's, like, literally, because the character power level is so high, some characters just can't play against other fucking characters. It's actually that kind of crazy. Or maybe the game didn't develop long enough. Who knows? Maybe XR gets rolled back and we fill in the blanks there. But in Strive, you can play whoever the hell you want. Just fucking do it. Where this is patch 1.16. It hasn't been a balanced patch since October. And things are really, really good. Before we even get started, know that no one on this tier list is lower than B tier. And let's establish what B tier actually means. Okay? As defined by Lord Infill's fighting game dictionary, actually, I'm in complete agreement with it though. So let's starting with B tier, right? B tiers can make top 8s, but they do need a dedicated specialist. Another thing I'd like to add to this definition is that B tiers may also need like you may need like one more character to kind of like even out some of the really, really bad matchups, because some of these characters do have really, really bad matchups. You know, you could argue like Goldlewis Axel is terrible, or like who's Ram just destroy? Maybe like Ram Chipp. No. Maybe like Ram Kai is kind of hard, but it's doable. I think Ram Jacko would be kind of difficult though. But you see what I'm getting at. There's definitely rough matchups, and even now as I say them, I think, yeah, they could win it, right? So yeah, that's where B tier starting. Then next we have A tier. A tier is like, all right, I'm gonna have 2 or 3. Maybe 4 bad matchups, and I'm gonna have to work, but I can definitely win a major. I can win a major. You can just be an expert in that one character, and you're good to go, right? And then we got S tier. These are for the Spike players. We'll talk about Spike later. Y'all already know what it is. S tier is fucking Omega broken. This game used to have double S tiers. I think so was double S tier on release. I stand by it, but he is down to earth as we all are about to see. But yeah. So you guys are gonna see we got 2 different axes here. One is gonna be overall strength, right? These are gonna be things that I have listed as you know, the ability to convert off of hits, base stats, defensive tools, neutral tools, win condition, which we'll get into later. That's on the other axes. Anti-system mechanics and resourcefulness. Oh, and as well as matchup spread. All of that goes into overall strength. Yes, I have thought about all of these things, which isn't actually too hard. We've only had 5 new characters since the game came out. Not too many changes, so it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. I do want to take a moment here to talk about like neutral tools in general. I want to give a shout out to this guide here. You guys may have heard of a player, an Exar player. I think they play Strive as well. I don't know. I haven't kept up with them in particular, but the player's name is Machabo. I used to call him Machagoat when we were going through our Exar phase here on stream. He's the Messiah, but he also is a Messiah outside the game too, because he actually wrote. I don't even want you. Would you call this a thesis? He wrote how he interprets the neutral game, and I think that's very, very important to talk about because what makes Guilty Gear so fucking cool are the kind of interactions you're allowed to have in neutral. I'm going to link it here in chat, and I'm going to link it in the Discord in case it doesn't go through, because I think my thing's being really fucking weird. But yeah, it is a fantastic guide on how to do neutral, but specifically I want to focus on the 3 neutral moves or types of attacks that he talks about. He has their Japanese, yeah, it's translated from Japanese, but the 3 different words or the 3 different kinds of attacks are Oki, Ate, and Sashi. And I've kind of broken them down into like what I think they actually mean. And first off, being Oki tools, not Oki in the like someone's getting up. I know it's weird, but like Oki tools are like, these are your good buttons. Like these are like, that's quick and disjointed, right? That's Kai's crouch slash, Soul's crouch slash, Millia's 5K. Oh, her 5K is excellent. Anji's 5K. Happy Chaos's crouch slash. Testament's crouch slash. Nago's crouch slash. Giovanna's stand heavy. May's crouch slash. Things that are just like, if I press this, there's almost no con. Besides the fact that I'm whiffing a fucking button, maybe, right? Those are your like, I want to press those buttons, right? Most characters have those in this game. Of course, they have counterplay around them, but they're definitely not bad to press. You're gonna control space for sure. And then you have Ate. I like to think of these the keep out buttons. These are the buttons that I always tell you guys you need to learn on your characters. These are the buttons that may not have a lot of range, but one thing they do have is a bunch of active frames. There are a lot of moves in this game that are not disjointed. So if you just have a move that's active as a move starting up, and just have it run into a hitbox, you're gonna win more often than not. Most good characters have these. And if you're looking for like a number to round off on, I'm talking about 4 or 5 active frames when you get up on Dust Loop. 4 or 5 active frames. If you get to 6, oh, that's the good stuff. You'll notice Arxis is very aware of this. That's why I always give at least 6 active frames to Close Slash. A shout out to Potemkin, who only gets 4, but it's for good reason, trust me. So next up, you have the Sashi buttons. These are your whip punish buttons. These are like, okay, so this person definitely missed this, and it has hella recovery. There are a lot of moves like that in this game. You press this, they die. Either you get counter hit or you get punished, which leads in the combo, or your win condition, right? You guys should definitely take a look at that guy. He goes into great detail how these 3 types of moves interact with each other. The Oki, Ate, and Sashi. They're really, really good. Really good. It helped me develop my neutral in this game, and it helped me just understand a lot of different things. But yeah, again, the categories for overall strength are neutral tools, convertibility, meaning the ability to take any hit and get meaningful damage or a great game state or get into your win condition. Defensive tools, those are your anti-airs, dare I say your keep out buttons. Even base stats are a factor into this. How good your backdash is, if you have a DP or if you have invincible reversal, how fast that invincible reversal overdrive is, all that good stuff. Set play, the ability to remove defensive options on wake up. Anti-systems, things like, do you not give a fuck about YRC? Do you not give a fuck about flawless defense? Do you not care about just guard? Guard crush was like guard crushes are still pretty strong, so I definitely factor that into anti-systems. And then we have resourcefulness, like how much utility are you getting out of the systems in the game, whether it be RC or burst, right? And then matchup spray, which we got into in the last video. So if you guys want to see that, I'll link this in the video. But anywho, that's all that stuff. That's a lot of math. Now, I know why you guys are here. We're here to talk about win conditions, okay? And before we talk about win conditions, I was actually coaching Star the other day about, like win conditions for Testament because they wanted to learn Testament. I was teaching her Testament. And she was like, well, a win condition means I'm going to win, right? But applying Stain doesn't mean I'm not going to win necessarily. And they were kind of right. So I took a look around because they come from Magic, right? So I took a look at card games and what a win condition means in that game. I'm also using some of my experience in League of Legends. And I definitely want to point out what a win condition is in League, because it looks like it's not like it's a term that is used, but it's a term that is subjective in meaning. But as far as Guilty Gear Strive goes, I like to define a win condition as a game state where the risk reward is so heavily skewed in the offender's favor, your favor, that the next incorrect choice or a sequence of choices that are in your control will lead to a virtually like you're going to win the round. It's going to be a super huge health deficit, or you're just, going to eradicate their entire health bar. The way you can identify when a win condition is happening or it's been met is the defender is typically only defensive options, or they're forced to consume a resource like RC, YRC, or burst in order to survive, or they have to guess correctly. And even if they guess correctly, the reward is so little that basically neutral gets reset. The person isn't going to lose half their health or anything unless they have a bad win con, which we're going to get to. So yeah, that's what we're calling win conditions, right? I want a formal definition for all of this. So when this all makes sense, when I get into it later, we can just blow through all of this. All right. And then I broke it down even further. There are 3 variables that go into win condition strength. Okay. We have power, right? the how, you know, how big the actual damage, like how much damage you can do, or just the threat of how much damage you can do. Or the ability to reinstate a win con. This is what power is. Just how much damage you do, how much you're allowed to threaten, the sheer quantity, and the ability to be back in that position after you've used that power. A lot of characters, like Leo, for example, like not only is he going to get into his win condition, which is back turn stance, and then quite literally fuck you, he's gonna be in stance again. So even if he gets a return on a hit that's not very high, it doesn't matter. He can always return back to the win con, right? And next up, we have accessibility, the number of methods a character has to get to the win condition. That one's pretty simple. And lastly, we have resistance, the ability for the defender to kind of mitigate or deny the win condition, whether it be through a resource or option select, anything like that. All of these are factoring into win con strength. So now you know what a win con is. You know how to determine how strong a win condition is. And now it's time to start fucking up some characters. So who should we do first? I saw Kai first in chat, or at least that's what loaded first on my chat. So let's start with Kai. All right. So again, I'm going to just go over all those different categories. Let's start with his overall strength. Let's just start with overall strength. I think everyone can understand, because we've interacted with these characters before, right? So let's start with our boy Kai. All right, Kai. So what kind of neutral tools you got? So he's got pretty good neutral tools, right? He's got crowd slash, just a fantastic round start, fantastic range. Can't be 6P. He's got wall moves. You know, 5K literally has 8 fucking active frames. If you're not using a stand kick, you're fucking trolling. And then lastly, his whiff punish tool, I would argue, is, I think, like a staple normal. We could get into a special move. Just sticking with his normals. Doesn't even need to do a special move. Just as stand heavy or 6H. Like literally, if you whiff anything, stand heavy coming in hot at 13 frames and 6H coming in at 15 frames is pretty fucking good. And the return is obviously phenomenal. I believe 5H is going to lead into a Dippa for sure, which is going to give him like this little pseudo hard / soft knockdown. And then 6H is combo time. Pretty easy. So he's got all that. His ability to convert though is kind of where he falls short. Usually most of his like kind of stray hits are going to lead to like very little damage, but they will more often than not lead to a hard knockdown. And that's where his strength actually lies, in his set play. He puts charged stun edge, heavy stun edge right on top of you. He's good to go. Now you got to guess. That pretty much opens up his win condition, which I guess we should talk about next. So his win condition is a 2-step process, which kind of fucking sucks. And you're going to notice that holds back a lot of characters. Or that's not... It makes your win con not as good, because in order for you to be where someone else is, you have to do 2 to 3 steps, which is not something you want to do. Unless it's like there's not a lot of guesswork involved, but usually when you have 2 or 3 steps, there's more guesswork involved and more resistance that's allowed. So yeah, he wants to get you in shock state so he can apply additional options, and then he's going to move in for the strike or throw. And it's literally that simple. The reason why the throw is scary though, it's not because of the damage. The damage is nice, but more importantly, he's just going to do it again. So he's just kind of running this set on you, which bleeds into something I want to talk about the different archetypes of win conditions in Guilty Gear Strive. I've noted there being 3 primary archetypes, kind of like on a spectrum. Every character has access to all 3 of these things, but you know, there's usually a primary for each one. So Kai has one of the I would say weaker of the 3 archetypes, and that's what I like to call the Doomsday, which is like, hey, I'm doing something to you. If you don't stop this, you are going to lose. Kai's not making you die, but you can't just let him have his way, right? Because you're slowly going to get conditioned into eating grabs. You're going to get conditioned into throwing out buttons you shouldn't, right? So that win con is relatively weak, but that's how he's going to hit you, okay? So here's the thing about his strength. I would say it's, especially with all the buffs to stun edge, I think he's right here in the middle, all right? And I know you're probably like, well, that makes fucking sense, but we're going to put Kai in the middle because his win condition is 2 steps. He has to get shock state applied. That opens up his Doomsday win condition, which is, again, I could chip you to death with stun edge, or I can create additional plus frames. And the threat of all of this is going to slow you down, and that's going to give me more room to open up my strike throw game. It's literally that cut, paste, and dry. Super simple. That's why people with Kai usually, like, I don't know how to put this. They usually are playing higher level. They're usually paying attention to their opponent more than the average players. They kind of have to. But yeah, that's where we're going to put Kai. He's right here in the middle. He used to be down here. His win con was where it is now, but he used to be like just not strong enough. That was the problem. Now he's up here, and I don't know if you guys see me play Kai, but I love the stun edge. Just doing that shit in the corner, like, bro, it's so safe now. Okay, who we want to do next? Jacko? Oh fuck, I shouldn't have asked again. Jacko? Oh man, y'all gonna hate me. All right, I'll do Jacko. Just because you put it in all caps, I'll do Jacko. Okay, so here's the thing about Jacko. All right, you're not gonna like me. I'm gonna put it up here, but I'm just gonna talk about her for a second. So here's the thing about Jacko. If you actually look at her frame data, it is fucking not that great. Unless a bot is on the screen, most of the buttons she's pressing have like just risk associated with them. One of her best buttons is her stand heavy. When she like does her handstand, 10 frames of startup, just showing it on the left and right hand side. But you can aim for where her hands are, where she's actually doing the handstand. That's pretty normal for moves that are kind of designed that way. But more importantly, it'd be nice if she did that and she didn't fucking advance. Because the issue is, when she uses that in neutral, whether it classes or not, she's gonna have to now make a very important decision. She's either gonna do what I like to call soccer kick, which is unsafe on block, or she's gonna have to summon bot and try to run away. That's when shit gets scary. Both of those involve a risk. And she can't just stop at the 5H. I'm gonna get the exact number for you. But the 5H is also unsafe. I'm gonna get the exact number. I really hope it's not like -10 or anything. And that's one of her best moves. I don't believe her far slash is not disjointed, so you can 6P that. And her crouch slash is an anti-air move, right? So then the only thing she's left to kind of cover this bottom lane of neutral, which you guys are obviously understand is very important, because look at Nago just throwing out his crouch slash, right? She can't really do anything there that isn't too committal or like, you know, above average. She could press 2D, which is really cool, but that's just -19 on block, and she still has the same cancel options I just mentioned. So let me go find her 5H real quick. Yeah, her 5H is -6. So she's getting jab punished or grabbed if she's close enough. Like, that's just going to happen. Kai would love for her to do a -6 move that has just as unsafe special cancel options. You see? Now, here's the thing, though. Actually, no, let's not move her down there. Let's not move her down there yet. Right? So her neutral tools are kind of Her convertibility is okay. And what I mean by that is, if she hits you, she gets to start the snowball or her win condition, in that she gets to summon the bot. Most of her hits revolve like either push you so far away or they're a hard knockdown that you are just she's gonna be able to summon the bot. But here's the thing about summoning bot. Summoning the bot is like step 1 of like 3. 1, she has to summon the bot. She has to create the space to summon the bot. Then she has to put the bot in a position where it cannot be eliminated immediately. Okay. 3, she now has to create pressure so that the bot, you know, she has to hit you now. 1, 2, and 3. Each of these are like a fucking, this is a game that she's playing. It's not like she puts, like, let's say if she puts the bot behind you, doesn't mean she gets to hit you, right? It opens up high-low strike throw if she's up close, right? So a lot of the time she can get stuck at, okay, well, I got the hit, I summoned the bot, shit, they hit the bot. I got the hit, I summoned the bot, shit, they hit the bot. Or like, you know, or I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't get to, you know, put the bot behind them, or I didn't get a meaningful hit, but like I used the bot in neutral. That was really neat, but like that's not damage. And so she has access to summoning the bots actually very frequently, and her bar fills up really nice. You never really have to worry about, do I have enough of the little summon gauge? You really don't, at least not in my experience, and not what I've seen other jackos really have to worry about. So you're pretty good there. Her one saving grace though is she can forego steps 1, 2, and 3 with her overdrive. I like to think of her overdrive as like her, like, okay, I'm a good character now, because you know, you put the shield on them, now they can't die, or you just keep letting the bar refill and you just keep summoning fucking bots, and the person literally just cannot keep up if you start building around that. So here's the thing about her, right? Again, her set plays pretty good, right? Her set plays pretty good. Because she can like alter her combo routes. I think that she also has she has burst safe conversions. That's totally cool. F-Ding isn't really gonna save you from her too much. She doesn't have a guard crush, so that's kind of whatever. And she can make use of meter, but a lot of her like meter conversions, they're really hard. She'll probably want to save the meter for the overdrive. So I wouldn't say she's great in terms of resourcefulness, and because she has this 3-step process, her matchup spread is like can be very iffy. Basically, if the person has invincible reversal, if they have really good panic buttons like Soul, if they just like say, hey, I don't give a fuck about your neutral, which is not hard to stop, honestly, her matchup spread gets pretty iffy. So all that considered, we got to put her down here. Okay, and here's the thing about our win con: it has multiple steps, but it is strong. It is good. And so we're gonna put her down here in this quadrant in the bottom right hand side, which I call win con or nothing. Like, if she does not get the bot behind you by the time the match is over, she's probably not gonna win. Same thing with Zato, by the way. If Zato doesn't get Eddie out, he cannot win the round. If you're getting bodied by solo Zato, you're literally trolling. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna put her here. It's stronger than Kai's win condition because the amount of variations and the fact that she can just go into overdrive and not give a fuck. Anji, you said? Oh no, y'all just want me to break fucking hearts. Why do you want me to do this? I don't want to. All right, here's the thing about Anji. I was on that hope. Was it hopium or copium in October? Look, he literally came out and he wasn't in the game in August. I mean, not in June. It was cap. He wasn't in the game. And then August came out and he got some love, but it wasn't enough. Then October came out and oh my god, aerial guard crush, Fujin actually works, and Kara canceling the follow-ups. Hello? Couple this with the fact that his base stats are amazing. He hits like a fucking truck. What could go wrong? Well, a little bit of everything can go wrong because his whole premise is his buttons are bad. They're not good. They're not good buttons. They're not good buttons. They're not good buttons. But that's okay because he wants you to use your good buttons and then he'll spin you with his 10 frame guard point, right? And then when you're like kind of like, oh shit, is he gonna spin or not? Then he can kind of mix in Fujin with the guard point and now he's got a turn. But here's the problem. Fujin does not work as intended, I guess, is what would be the... I wouldn't say as intended, but Fujin is not a threat if you learn how to properly option select all the 4 follow-ups. Or if you have a DP, you literally don't give a fuck. If he does the overhead, DP, or just rely on the option select. Literally, the low and the overhead never hit on the same frame, you're good, right? Then he has, you know, jump down, throw the fan down. It's plus on block, but as soon as there's a big gap between Fujin connecting and him going up there. You can literally like just DP, like you can, or you can. I think I with Zato, I jump up and press my JD. Literally nothing he can do. And leap is honestly like you shouldn't be getting hit by. It's too fucking slow. You're only getting hit by it because you're afraid of what he could do. But I'm telling you, he actually can't do too much. I said it. Anji's top 3. I said it. I fucking said it. But I don't think that's the case. I just think that since he just got in the game in October, people were, I don't think they still know what to do, but he still needs time to develop. I don't see a reason to play him because again, I could literally just pick someone to DP and be like, Anji, do you really want to do this to yourself? And then that raises the question, right? What in the hell is Anji's win condition? I thought it was getting to Fujin. It's clearly not. And then I knocked down Soul. I ran a couple of simulations. I knocked Soul down and I said, oh, the bird, his set play. His set play is really, really good. The bird's really, really good. Bird's not really good. You're basically still having to guess. The bird will protect you from like someone getting up and trying to jump away, backdash, DP, all that good stuff. But in between the first and second hit, that's Anji's time to shine. But he can't actually go for any meaningful mix without putting himself at risk. So he just puts himself in a 50-50 for getting a hard knockdown. Straight up. If you have a DP. If you don't have a DP, it's a little bit more lenient. But, you know, either someone's going to have a DP or a meterless overdrive. Right? That's just how the game works. And so I can't put him in the middle in terms of Overall strength. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. So, I'm going to put Anji. Shit. All right, look. He has below average options. His set plays nice, but it's not. You know, it's not. But I think he still needs time. So here's where we're going to put him. I'm going to put him, I think he's one of the weaker win conditions in the game because honestly, I don't know. I almost don't even know what it is. Straight up. I almost don't even know what the fuck it is. I literally don't know. Even with meter, his mix isn't that great. No, fuck that. We're putting his win cons weak. It's just a reality. And he has poor neutral tools, which is fine. He does hit like a truck. I think his, but he also doesn't have like an invincible reversal, right? The giant fan is not invincible. Okay, that's why he has the counter. But the counter, you just grab it or you just save jump. Like he's fucked. It's not. So here he's too fucking volatile. He's too unstable. That's why we have him right here. He would be up here. He would be up here if he had better neutral tools. A frame or two on some of his low profile attacks, either decrease the startup or add some active frames, and he can make it work. But right now it's like spin to win, and that's too one-dimensional to handle the rest of the cast, because there's ways to play around spin. You got RC, you can just use low recovery attacks, and if you ever play Geo versus Anji, multi-hitting attacks literally destroy him. So you don't even need a DP to get rid of like one of his most prominent tools. So we got to put him. He goes right here. He goes right here. I'm sorry, chat. Eno, we can do Eno. Eno's excellent. I like to think of Eno. Okay, I'll call your Eno and raise you a Millia. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about Millia first, because Millia and Eno to me are like two sides of the same coin, except one coin has more value. So let's start with Millia, right? I don't know if you guys seen Millia's frame data, or you tried to play as Millia, or you even watched a Lord Knight stream. Lord Knight has even said it himself. Millia's best button is move, run. Literally, Millia's best button is run, and that's because remember all those neutral tools we talked about? She doesn't have like, ooh, that's a good button, right? She doesn't have a move like that. She can like manipulate some attacks to kind of like give the impression. She can like pseudo good buttons, pseudo Oki tools, right? But that's about it. As far as keep out goes, non-existent, really non-existent, very, very fragile in that regard. And then her ability to whiff punish is pretty good. That's her strong suit. Dash in, sweep, run the mix, solid. But her neutral tools are so bad. Okay, what Millia is truly about is her win condition, the set play. When she knocks you down, you're getting schmixed. You are getting fucking schmixed. There's so many variations that she can do now that she can like backdash, air dash, or whatever the fuck y'all want to call that. They give her in October. That's super dope. But here's the issue. When something cannot convert, or even after she mixes you, after she sets down the hair, the thing is she almost, in order to get meaningful damage, she has to wall break. And then in order to like avoid the wall break, she has to sacrifice damage to keep the set play, right? And if you haven't noticed, I'm talking about a 3-step process again, aren't I? She has to 1, outmaneuver opponent in neutral. 2, get the hair down, right? Actually, depending on the kind of knockdown she gets, she must do a different like series of options, and they vary in strength. Even if she gets the best knockdown she can get, which is off of her sweep, she now actually has to get the hit, right? Sounds like Jacko. So here's the thing about her. That win con though, when she does hit you, she can kind of keep you in the vortex forever. Again, Lord Knight, the best reference for this. I really like what he's done with the character. But even so, he's been picking up secondaries ever since I guess August. Ever since Evo, he's been working on secondaries. He was on Axel last. He just announced on Twitter he's going to be playing Giovanna season 2, and yeah, that's kind of the issue. She has too many shortcomings. She's really great when she knocks you down. Literally every other part of the game though, can't do it. So got to go below Kai in terms of overall strength. Okay, but here's the thing though, her win con is super good. She doesn't care if you have a DP. She doesn't care if you have a 6-frame invulnerable backdash. She doesn't really care how much health you have. So her win con is phenomenal. Even though it is multi-step, when she knocks you down and she executes correctly, you will die. Like you will lose. Like it will not stop until you die. All right. And then when she gets meter, her resourcefulness is very, very high. Then she doesn't even need the hair to get the hit. She can kind of like streamline the process. She can knock it down from a 3-step process to a 2-step process to kind of skew the risk reward in her favor. But the fact that she has no health does not help the equation. So she's down here in terms of strength, IMO, but her win con, I would argue, is stronger than Jacko's because there's too many options. So earlier I talked about how Kai has Doomsday archetype win condition, meaning that if you keep letting me do this to you, if you keep letting me stun edge, eventually you're like, you're just gonna get conditioned to either eat a grab or press when you shouldn't press. What Millia does is option set overload. She knocks you down and you're like, fuck. There's literally 20 things she could do. I'm gonna guess this. I'm only allowed to guess 1 out of 20. Here we go, and then you get fucking hit. So that is a very strong win condition because it pretty much means they're going to get hit, right? And we're going to see that as we go further down the strong win con list. So I think she's stronger than Jacko, but has some of the shortcomings as well. And like I said, I was going to raise you a Millia. I will call your Eno. I will call your Eno. So let's talk about Eno. So Eno to me, see, Millia's best button is run. Eno's best button is get the fuck in there. It's kind of weird. She actually has really nice keep out tools. Unlike Millia, her all of her slashes, because all her slashes got buffed, but her slashes initially were pretty good too, especially her heavies. Tons of active frames, and they're disjointed. You cannot just pull up on her, and she used her 6H in neutral too, to kind of wall out the opponent. Even use it in neutral. I've seen sometimes you combine this with stroke, chemical love, and like all the advanced dashes, and she's actually a problem in neutral. She's gonna go high and then open you up, or she's gonna go low and then open you up. So in terms of overall strength, I'd argue she's higher than Millia right out the gate. Now, what's her win condition? Similar to Millia. I'm gonna knock you down, right? She doesn't have to do this, and that's kind of where she's really, that's kind of the strength of her win condition. She doesn't have to knock you down, but let's say she does knock you down. Option set overload, right? But when she gets access to meter, right now she got access to that invincible command grab. You have to guess. And more importantly, the power of her win condition is stronger because the hit she's getting outside of when she starts mixing you, it just leads back to mix. We've all seen it. Even like Celestial Enos are doing this shit to you. They knock you down and they just kind of run that shit until you die, right? Millia needs a certain kind of hit. I feel like Eno is like gets a baseline value that's higher on average than Millia, and then she can get more as the player is more familiar with the character specific situation and the context they find themselves in. So I would say her win con is just as strong. I would say maybe even a little bit better, but she's very technical. And I know less about her. So where I'm going to put her is right here. Wait, no. Yeah, I put her right here. Let me think about this a little bit more. Yeah, I'm gonna put her here. Cause her neutral is still fucking shaky. We saw Gobo expose all that shit at Red Bull. It's still fucking shaky. She still has to guess. She's still taking a risk. That is just the nature of what she is doing. So I think the neutral's too shaky. When she gets going, I think she's just as good as Millia in that regard. And I think she's slightly healthier, right? So as far as risk return goes, she's getting like more value, right? It's just literally, I don't want to say better Millia, but better Millia. Yeah. Let's do Potemkin next. All right, let's do it for the lull. And then I'll choose one after that. Is it time to choose Faust? No, we got to save Faust for later. Because I know there's a bunch of fucking cap stars in chat. All right, so Potemkin. So if you guys saw my Potemkin guide, he's actually not as solid in neutral as one might think. His crouch slash can be 6P'd. His far slash can be 6P'd. And of course his stand heavy can too, but you're really not trying to 6P that. But basically, if you have multi-hitting moves or you're aware that you can 6P his crouch slash, he's pretty much reduced to just his sweep in neutral to kind of like safely control the space. Everything else he does involves inherent risk. honestly. So if he's not trying to assert himself with his special moves in neutral, he's pretty much at your whim, right? And you notice this, right? Like a lot of low level Potemkins, they kind of intuitively understand that, so they're either slide hitting like mad, or they're doing, you know, mega fists like mad. But once you shut that shit down, they're like, oh shit, what do I do? Then you hit them with the 6P, right? And they try to armor through shit, and then, you know, you watch my guy, so you know how to shut that shit down. And they're like, okay, so I got my sweep, right? And I have to kind of play with in relation to the tools my opponent has. And then once you get in, you know, you can crouch his stand jab, right? And he has an 8-frame crouch jab, right? And his invincible overdrive has like a very slow, I think like what, 11 frames of startup on his little overdrive. Like it's a wrap. He doesn't really have an invincible overdrive, so the only thing he really has is the fact he has a very big health pool and 6 frames of invulnerability on his backdash, right? But it's a longer backdash because of that, so he's just slow. But once he gets going though, so I gotta put him here. I think it all evens out. All of his pros and his cons as far as strength goes even out. He has one of the stronger win conditions in the game. I think, should I put him this far out though? Let's put him here for now. I don't think we need to go that far out yet. We don't need to go that far out yet. When he fucking sweeps you, bro. When he sweeps you, bro, you have to guess for your fucking life. Command grab not only takes half your fucking HP, he puts you right back in the same situation, right? Am I gonna sweep? Am I gonna card grab? What are you fucking gonna do about it? If you're in the corner, it's a wrap. The beautiful thing about the command grab option is that it doesn't break the wall. So you're just gonna have to keep fucking guessing until he lands a strike. And even then, we've seen Shine, he has this one particular route he does. And he literally just, when he gets the hit, he always like ends it a certain way, and then you're right back into the Garuda guessing game. It's actually fucking disgusting. It's actually disgusting. So what makes his win con so strong is that his power, that variable for his power, is probably one of the highest in the game. Mostly because the return is so high, and he's able to reinstate the win con repeatedly. His accessibility is also very, very high. Also very, very high. If he manages to slide hit in neutral, time to guess. If he reads your jump, time to guess. Like, it's just guess. Like, he's so good at that. Like, once he gets going, he's good. And he's got the health pool to back it up. But he still has those shortcomings. So I'm going to still keep him, in terms of overall strength, right there in the middle. Maybe we should put him on top of the word win con. All right, so the next one I want to choose. I want to talk about my boy Chipp, because this may be controversial. I don't know what you guys think about Chipp on this one. I think Chipp, we know he got hit in August. He came out one of the strongest characters in the game, but clearly his weaknesses are like pretty defined, right? He has a bag of tricks, but if he gets hit, that's it. it's that simple. And one of the things that makes him strong was his verticality. Like, he could jump over problems, right? Threaten some of his air specials, but more importantly, his drill. He could do drill into like pretty consistent pressure on block. I don't think for a very high return, but he got in. And not a lot of characters had that verticality. But in August, they reduced the pushback, I believe, and also the attack level of the kicks. I'm not too certain on that. I have to go check the frame data. But one thing I did figure out immediately, and this was right after I dropped my Chipp guide, was all of a sudden, if he didn't land drill a certain way, and I mean a very particular way, you could quite literally grab him before he did drill 2K. It was fucking gross. If he tried to do drill 2K 2D, which is staple, he could get fucking grab after drill. I don't know what the fuck they did, but I already wasn't afraid of Chipp. But now I was not afraid of Chipp at all, right? What they added though in October was some stability to his like combo structure. Like, his conversions are phenomenal now. He's gonna get great Oki. He's gonna get mix. He's gonna get so many things off just hitting you, especially. So he's still good in that regard. But now that his verticality is gone, it's just like, if I'm gonna play, why am I playing Chipp? I'm just playing Chipp to be fast. It's kind of weird. It's like you still get to convert on the ground really well. You can convert in the air really well too. But without the drill, you can't be as like direct about it. You gotta like beat around the bush a bit and then get meter. Which leads me to his win condition. He doesn't have a particular move that's his win condition, and that's kind of his strength, right? His whole thing is you don't know what he's gonna do, right? he has a lot of different options. And when he gets meter, it becomes the option set overload. Now he's allowed to take these risks that normally would get him killed. And now he gets very significant return. He's namely aiming for the positive bonus, right? That's going to help out, give him 5% more damage, 5% more defense, and then give him access to meter, which he really, really needs. But outside of that, right, since it's so hard to pin down his win condition, I wasn't really sure where to put him. So I decided to play a couple of matches of Chipp, and I ended up like, damn, like he's so good at so many things, but like I get hit, like I'm taking a risk for the most part without meter. He really needs that meter. So it's interesting. He can't dip into the well without the meter. He like can't dip into the well. He can if he has like a read on the opponent, like an experienced player can like will eat you alive, because they'll be like, you're blocking this way, so I'll choose that option. But you know, once that's all said and done, and you know both players have or are aware of all the options that there are, so he really should just chill the fuck out until he gets the meter. So I don't know. I don't think his win con is actually too strong. He's one of the few characters I think is actually back here with Anji in terms of win condition, because his win condition to me is I need some damn meter, bro. For me to take some risk to like get some substantial return, I need some meter. Just 50%, that's it. And he gets the positive bonus pretty much off anything. Like his corner carry is ridiculous. And then you get fucked. So he scales into a monster in a way. And he has the maneuverability. And he has the buttons. His buttons are really good, by the way. He has the buttons to get there too. So I'm going to put him here. What do you guys think about Chipp? Do you guys still think Chipp is top tier? I'm genuinely want to know what you guys think. I don't know. I personally want to put him here. But I think he deserves to be here. Because if you don't really play Chipp, you know, if you're not living life on the fucking edge, you haven't developed the tools to kind of like, what's the word? Expose those strengths. You're just like, this is good, right? But like, if you developed him, like we saw when the game first came out, people were doing all kinds of crazy shit with Chipp. Like they were so meticulous. I loved it. I especially love watching Levin play him. He was like, he was like, yep, you lost. So I'll leave him here for now. I'll leave him here. Strong but unstable. And I don't think his win con is like what is it? It's like he needs meter. Like it's kind of weird. All right, so let's move on. Who we want to do next? Big B? Oh shit. Chipp maybe getting some company then. All right, let's talk Big B. Where is she? Baiken sama. What do I think about Baiken? I think first of all, and I think we all can agree, her crouch slash needs to be a low. I don't give a fuck. It's huge, but it's a mid, and it's kind of annoying. Why is it not a low? I don't fucking know. It is pretty goddamn big, but I don't like it. And the reason why I don't like it is because her heavies, which have phenomenal range, are actually kind of dog shit. Her crouch heavy is like, has no fucking range on it. It's kind of like what, I mean, I'm sorry, it has a ton of range on it, but it's like, it's not disjointed. You think it's disjointed, it's not. Basically, if you're outside of her far slash range, anything she wants to press is like, as far as normals go, what the fuck would she even want to press? She basically has to press down heavy or like hit you with a mid. It's fucking weird. I don't think she has good neutral tools. They're serviceable, but I just need a little bit more. Maybe because there's only 2 active frames. A little bit more active frames on her heavies and a little bit less startup on the crouch heavy. That's all I need. Or her 6H, bro. I don't know if you guys know her 6H, the giant fucking overhead looking slash, bro. That's not even, that doesn't go farther than her stand heavy. So like, why the fuck would you press it? It like slightly hits the air above her a bit, but like that's it. It's not a good button. It's really weird that she has it. But just a couple tweaks on her numbers. The crouch slash can be a low, but I just can't. Her neutral tools just feel so weird to me. Her far slash is great, but like whose far slash isn't, you know? So it's kind of weird. But anyway, outside of her neutral tools, bro, her convertibility is really, really nice. Her grab, going into grab or going into sweep, basically any knockdown puts you literally in the fucking blender and goes straight to her win condition. That's what I actually want to talk about. Let's talk about that shit. So you may be thinking, what the fuck is her win condition? It took me a while to figure that out too. I think, no, I'm confident it's the rope. It gives her so much more damage, and of course loops her right back into the same situation. It's obviously what they want you to do. It's kind of her, I don't want to say gimmick, but it's obviously a mechanic they want you to pay attention to because it's very intricate and it's new, right? But here's the thing. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you burst Baiken, like if you just burst Baiken, once the rope is attached, you get up faster than she does, and you're right next to her. So you get free, you get a free meaty. You get a free fucking meaty. Now she could wake up parry, but you see where I'm going with this. Why the fuck am I applying the rope? The thing that enables me to do all this cool shit. And then there are several game states where I just kind of get fucked. I mean, we've seen the Twitter clips. What the fuck? Imagine Leo going in a back turn stance and be like, if you're in back turn stance and you get hit, you take 2 times as much damage. It's like, what? Ain't no fucking way. That's my problem with her. But hear me out. If it goes well though, if she applies the rope from like a grab, for instance, those scenarios that come from that are very, very stable. You grab, you back dash, you throw down the mat. Literally the best save jump in existence. Now they have to guess Yozansen, right? Or are you gonna go low, or are you gonna do mid into, you know, it's so much you can do. Or you just grab him again. Fantastic. I would say damn near unstoppable. Yeah, I would say almost damn near, like even better than Millia's actually, in terms of like power. But the issue is because she fails in neutral, she has no way to really get to it without just like, she has to really get that hit. She has to get the kabaddi, the heavy claw going. She has to hit you with that, which she can do, but it's like, how are you ain't supposed to out neutral me on average against most of the cats. Like you ain't got better buttons. So you're about to outplayer me. You're about to be the better player for this neutral interaction. Then you get to run your shit. And then, you know, that's good. But it's like, what happens when she can't do that? And then it's like, all right, so, you know, I don't know. It gets really weird. But she doesn't fall apart. She does not fall apart because she has the parry. She has a meterless reversal that says, hey, if you don't do your safe jump right, if you try to use a frame trap, you're going to jail. I'm taking a third of your fucking health, or a fourth, depending on how much, you know, your defense ratio. So I would say, in terms of overall strength, I'm gonna have to put her. I want to put her up here. Cause the return on so much of her shit is so high. She's like a snowball. Like you give her one opening, it's fucking game time. But it's so goddamn volatile. So fucking volatile. She runs into the wrong matchup. How am I gonna get in? How the fuck am I gonna get in? Right? Oh. Okay, so here's where I'm putting her. You're not gonna like me. So I think that she doesn't have as good a neutral as Chipp, but she has more health than Chipp. Her matchup spread, I think, is not as good as Chipp's. I feel like her win con is stronger than Chipp's, for sure. Yeah, her win con is definitely stronger than Chipp's. But here's the thing, though. It's so unstable. It's so unstable. It's so unstable. All right, here's what I'm going to do. Y'all can't hate me for this. It's a trash parry. It does what it's supposed to do. It shuts down frame traps. And it shuts down people just like spamming shit. Like doing reversals when they shouldn't. Shuts down overdrives too. I think it does its job fine. But here's the thing. That damn rope, bro. Without the rope, the return, now you become Millia. You have to keep knocking them down, which you can do, but it's like eventually they're gonna guess right. You know, if you don't have meter to back up that Yozansen, now you're fucked. You know. So here's what they're gonna do. I'm gonna put her. Oh, okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna flip Chipp. We're gonna put Chipp over here. We're gonna put Chipp over there, and then put her over here. There we go. That's what we're gonna do. All right. I think that's because they're both unstable, but the return on her win con is so high. I'm putting her to the right of Chipp. Basically is what I'm doing here. It's so unstable, I cannot put her on the right-hand quadrant. I can't put her in the right quadrant. It's so fucked. It's so bad. It's like, I did all this fucking work to apply rope. You bursted me. Now it's your turn? Bullshit. Bullshit. No way, dude. I'm sorry. I would want to put her here, but the only reason I won't put her here is because when she fucking gets going, bro, you lost. You lost. Like, it's like Leo, but Leo can't lose because he turned in the back turn. It's like that. It's like that. So that's how I feel about Big B. That's how I feel about Big B. That's how I feel about Big B. Let's get Leo out the way because I know y'all fucking about to. Actually, wait. No. Let's do Soul. Let's do Soul. Let's knock out Soul real quick. We already know where Soul's got to go. Soul's got everything in the game. Neutral tools. He converts well. Fantastic set play. Has some of the best defensive kit in the game. 3-frame, get the fuck off me, panic button. A 5-frame anti-air with enormous return that it gives him access to win con, which is, you know, I'm plussing your face. If you guys don't know what Soul's win condition is I'm plussing your face. And that actually moves me on to my next topic. The second archetype of the three is Guess Now. Guess Now. I'm sure you guys can think of some characters who are like, hey, guess right fucking now. They're usually strike throw oriented, but Soul is like the epitome of guess fucking now. Both the strike and the throw have fantastic return. He has every tool you need in the game. He can go low risk, he can go high risk whenever he wants. He's like almost the perfect character. The only issue is he's kind of have the T-Rex issue. There's certain situations where he needs, like his crouch slash needs to go farther. Straight up. That's where it needs to go a little bit further, but he can't do it. It's not good. Or his far slash needs to travel further, faster. It's 10 frames to start up, which is fantastic, but it needs to go further, faster. Because of that, he has to take like subpar punishes, or he ends up having to chase his opponent, right? And the way you beat Soul is just like, you can't hurt me, Soul, if I'm full screen. Like, he just has this T-Rex issue up close when he's trying to do certain punishes. And he has this, oh shit, how do I actually get across the screen in a way that doesn't get me killed? That's his issue. But he can do it. He has everything he needs to do it. You just have to be you just be a good player. That's all it is. So in terms of overall strength, he's definitely above average. So we got to put him up here. The return is just so fucking good. But his win con is just it's solid. The power is ridiculous. I think he grabs you 4 times. Most characters are just going to fucking die. If he combos you twice, you're going to fucking die. It used to be 1.5 times he'd have to combo you. And almost any hit he gets, guess. Right fucking now. Guess. So one of the stronger win cons in the game. We'll move him like a little bit more like this. I want to keep them in line so they're all right there. Boom. That's Soul. Okay. Now let's knock out Leo. Let's go ahead and knock out Leo, because I know y'all want to talk about Leo. All right, so Leo has only gotten bet. No, I'm kidding. Chill out. He came out. I told everybody when the game came out, I said, look, this is my first Guilty Gear, but this character's top 3. He came out the gate strong as fuck. I don't want to say he's top 3. Other people say he's top 3, so I'm gonna let them say it for me. But he still has his weaknesses. He does have one of the best projectiles in the game. But if you ever jump over it, like I'm sure you guys have noticed, he just kind of gets counter hit. Like, he's in a lot more recovery than one would think. Right. So, but he also has really good neutral tools for every situation. His convertibility is really, really above average, because almost any hit he can get, he doesn't do the most damage, right? But he definitely gets access to win con consistently. He has a DP, a solid 6P, great anti-air conversions. All that shit's phenomenal. So he's already above par. He's above par. But what sets him apart from the rest is his win condition. Back turn is option set. It's like the epitome of the option set overload archetype. He can go left, right. He can go high, low. He can go guard crush. He can go command grab. And if you get hit by any of it, or most of it for that matter, he's still allowed to bait your burst or your yellow Roman cancel. So the resistance variable we talked about earlier is really, really low. And the better the player, the harder it is to resist. So for that reason, I gotta put him next to Potemkin. He's got above average everything. but he has one of the strongest win cons in the game. The only issue, the reason why he's not up there with Potemkin is that he's got to mix you 3 times or get 2 good hits. Potemkin has to grab you twice. Potemkin is doing less rotations. In order for Leo, Leo is gonna have to do naturally more rotations. He naturally has to do more rotations of what he's doing, and then you're fucked. Now it may not feel that way, because the thing about Potemkin is that Potemkin's fucking hard. So we have not seen too many good Potemkins. I still like to reference Shine. Shine keeps it so simple and effective, but like his execution barrier is so high. I'm telling you, we haven't even seen peak Potemkin yet. We have not seen peak Potemkin yet. So on average, Leo's going to be taking some more risks still than Potemkin. And he's also going to be having to do more rotations. He's not going to end it. He's not going to hit you and then like you're going to just die, right? He's going to keep doing it and you're going to get pissed off. And it's going to feel that way, but that's not what's happening. He's doing it 2 or 3 times. All right, let's talk about Geo. So Geo's fantastic. She has literally every neutral tool you can need in the game. Keep out, Oki, not in the wake up sense. And she has like fantastic whiff punish, right? Her convertibility is insane. She pretty much like anything converts into wall break, which kind of feeds into her win condition, which I guess we'll talk about here in a second. But also she has like a pseudo DP, so it's like one of the best anti-air / neutral tools in the game / like anti defense. I don't even know what to call it. Anti-jump. I guess you could call it an anti-jump tool. It's very fucking good. Anti-neutral. It's so fucking good. Fantastic burst safe routes. She didn't give a fuck how many times she got a jump cancel. She could probably get wall break from it to bait the burst. What else? Invincible overdrive. One of the fastest invincible overdrives in the game. And her mobility is out of fucking control. She can pretty much open up anybody through the sheer virtue of so many things that she can do. And he's kind of like Eno, where like if you don't do something, I'm gonna hit you at some point. And if I don't hit you at some point, I'm gonna grab you at some point, right? Which leads me into her win condition. So her win condition is, to me at least, is similar to Chipp in that in order for her to start taking more risk, and actually get significant return, she needs meter. Unlike Chipp though, she's just more stable. So I would argue her power level is right around where Chipp's is. But her win condition, to me, is not very strong. It's not very strong. She's similar to Soul in that I'm in front of you with plus frames. You have to guess right now. Guess right now. The issue is she doesn't have a command grab. So the return is too low. But what she has that Soul does not have is a fantastic matchup spread. Fantastic matchup spread. She can approach most matchups the same way because she almost has a solution for everything. Projectile? Oh, they have a projectile? I got fucking drill. They got better buttons than me? No, they don't. I'm pressing 2D. You know what I'm saying? You want to fight me in the air? Sol Nascente, the roll, the cartwheel. You see, she can just approach every matchup the same way. Her matchup spread is very flat. She's not like gonna crush some like most people, but she's not gonna get smacked on either. So she like literally teaches you strive. I think that was their goal when they created Geo, and they definitely hit every fucking metric with her. I always recommend her. If you guys have not played her, you need to fucking play her. She teaches you so much because she's very pick up and play, and before you know it, you're gonna learn something about how you approach the game a lot faster than you would if you're playing other characters, because she's just so, that's it. Like, she only got one mode, and that's go in. How many different ways can you take that though, is what the question she kind of begs. And so you guys should definitely play Geo. I think she's like, boom, like stronger than Kai, better matchup spread. Boom. Let's talk Axel. We're gonna get it a little bit jazzy in here for our boy. So here's the thing about Axel. He's actually taking hella risk. He's actually taking hella risk in neutral, but he's allowed to do it. They did hit it a bit in October. A lot of the counter plays I mentioned in my How to Beat Axel video is like even better now because of the things that they changed. But what they did add is his ability to like convert into like big fucking damage. I think before he really needed like meter But now I'm seeing a lot more meterless stuff. But it could have just been that, you know, we just needed time to figure out what was optimal. But I'm seeing a lot more meterless stuff, and I'm also seeing when he does use meter, because he can do the fucking the you know, stop time shit. Like, the return is getting, like, the convertibility is through the roof. It's through the roof. So of course, you know, he's kind of the king of neutral in a way, or I wouldn't say the king. He's the prince of neutral now. He's the prince of neutral, so of course he got neutral tool. His convertibility's through the roof. His set play's all right. They weren't gonna give someone with that great a neutral, like, devastating set play. He has pretty okay, like, above average set play. But where he falls is when you get on top of him, it's a fucking wrap. He does have invincible overdrive, but it's one of the slowest in the game. Let me get the exact number of how many startup frames it has. Yeah, the standard good overdrive is in between like 7 to 10 frames of startup. Like, that's the number. I don't even think he's in that range, which means that not only will a normal safe jump work, like if you can safe jump Soul ZP, he's fucked, right? It's irrelevant. It's like you could fuck up a bit too. Yeah, 11 frames of startup. And then there's a gap between the first and second hit, and you can just jump to second hit, right? But you don't need to worry about that. You're not getting hit by this overdrive. So this overdrive is like subpar. So honestly, when you get on top of him, he's fucked. Like, he has no defensive attributes. He does have a 5 frame like 2K, and that's really, really nice. But just because he swept you, right, that doesn't mean he's out. I know you guys seen a lot of Axels kind of have to wrestle the way out of the fucking corner. It's not enough to knock them down. Now I got to knock you down and get my ass across the screen, right? It's like a 2-step fucking process, and he's not the fastest character in the game, so it's kind of fucking rough. But the issue with him is his defense is so poor, so a lot of his success relies on the player's ability to scout habits in neutral, and just don't lose neutral. Just don't lose neutral, period. Without meter, he's gonna have trouble wrestling out of the corner, very, very hard. And with meter, like, I've seen some Axels do the DP in the air and like use the momentum, like, get out of the corner, and I'm like, bro, that's like a lot of work. I don't think once people see that 1 or 2 times, they ain't gonna try and just stop you from doing that kind of thing, you know? People get better about that kind of thing over time. So, man, he's taking some risk in neutral. I think we'll get better at the Axel matchup over time. Clearly, they're not in abundance, because either, you know, no one wants to be that guy who plays Axel, or like no one wants to just get exploded when someone gets in, which is never fun, and have literally no option. He's interesting. I think he's fantastic, though, in a competitive setting, because, like, you know, most people are like nervous, right? Everybody gets nervous in those settings, and like, at least I won neutral, you know, which is the thing to be most nervous about, you know, the thing where you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Anything could fucking happen. He got that on lock, but he does have to take some risk, and so he can kind of fall apart at times. But yeah, I think he's a solid character. I don't think he's above average, collectively speaking, because his defensive attributes are just way too goddamn low. Way too fucking low. IMO. But his damage, maybe if he had more, like, a fucking set play tool that was like boom, boom, boom. I don't know. I don't know why I said boom, boom, boom. Yo, thank you for the 6 month, Mr. Garcia. You can scout the exactly. I say it hinges on. Yep, that's exactly why I say a live cast. Yo, thank you for the 6 months. Side drop a real before we start with show. Okay, yes sir. Keeping the content in abundance. Thank you so much for the 6 months, brother. Yeah, his defense is just too weak. If he gets his habit scouted first, that means he's probably gonna start losing neutral. He's got nothing to fall back on. Like, nothing to fall back on, right? So it's like, who's the better player? Like, who can adapt the most, right? And I think because his option set isn't that big in neutral, and they kind of hit it just a bit, he can't rotate through enough options to not get downloaded in a longer set. In a longer set, he'll start getting bodied. That's why I think he's like the counter pick character. Like, okay, you beat this, but I'm gonna beat you once. Like, I'm gonna get these 2 rounds real quick. Or like, oh, I win that matchup. Or like, oh, I know how you play. That's what he's for. So for that reason, I'm gonna put him here. Boom. His win condition is, I don't know what you would even call that. I'm better than you or something. I don't know what you would call that. But he wins neutral. He stays in control. Basically, his win condition is you're over there, I'm over here. and you don't know what I'm gonna do next, but I'm probably like, no button that I press here is probably not gonna be favorable. And I guess his win con is ignorance. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Let me raise these up real quick. Let me get everything nice and neat. Let's knock out Goldlewis. Let's knock out Goldlewis. The dark horse of Guilty Gear Strive. And I want to talk about his win con first. I've been talking about overall strength first, but I want to talk about his win con first. He's really interesting because his win condition is you blocked. I fucking love this shit. It didn't really make sense to me at first. I thought he was going to be about like using the security clearance moves. Those are just like feathers in his cap. Those are like additional qualities that are really nice to have. But yeah, let's talk about Goldlewis. So like I said, they kind of normalized his kit. When he came out, he did not have he had like no defensive properties. You guys didn't already know his overdrive is on the slower side, so don't be like, oh no, but his reversal overdrive, you can like level 3 it. First of all, if you level it up, it comes out slower, so it's not something he necessarily wants to do. It is invincible, but you can safe jump it like most things, and it's technically easier to safe jump. Let's get the exact number though, because I don't know the exact number. I'm guessing this is 10 frames of start, and it's fucking weird. It's fucking weird. Anyway, it's not the fastest, and more importantly though, if you guys didn't know, just like Faust though, he can do the thing where he can cancel the startup, and then he gets a few of those iframes to work with, and he gets to like do something new. Either like he's like, oh, meaty close slash, overdrive, RC, grab, right? And he gets to start running his mix from there. So he does have some defensive qualities, but those are like on the harder side, and the return can vary. And yeah, it's good, and he also has a bigger health pool. So like as far as defense goes, when he came out, it was like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? What am I doing here? But then they finally gave him his crouch jab, 5 frames of startup. Now you don't need to use stand jab with the 7 frames of startup, and it like whiffed on crouches. Fucking weird. It was such a weird time. But they normalized his crouch slash in October, I believe. They did hit his guard crushes though, but I think it's fine. I honestly think it's fine. He's one of the few characters in the game where I'm like, I have to instant block Behemoth Typhoon, which is not as hard as it sounds actually. In between instant blocking and like option selecting, his different behemoths, he's not too hard. It's just hard finding a Goldlewis player because he's so fucking hard to play. He's so fucking hard to play. And the reason why is he has technically all the neutral tools in the game. He has the, this control space. He has the keep out buttons. He has the fantastic whiff punish buttons. But they're not really a button. They're just all Typhoons. Typhoon solves all his problems in neutral. Now, he does have some notable normals. I'd like to know his 5K. And his... was that his 5H, I believe? Let me make sure I'm right on this animation. I think his 5K is phenomenal. I think that shit's active for like 10 frames. It is a phenomenal keep out tool. And of course, his jabs are plus on block. But, I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, this fucking 5K's active for 9 frames. This man looking like Potemkin out here. He's looking like Potemkin out here. But outside of that range, though, outside of up close, it's like he has to solve a lot of these issues in neutral because he's slow with Behemoth Typhoon. And so, it can get pretty bad. It can get pretty bad. Once you're like, you bait the Typhoon and you're like, oh, you whiffed? You're dead. Like, that's just kind of it. And then he gets ran over on. You can still safe jump his overdrive. Now, you have to look out for that RC trick. You have to look out for that, but that can be accommodated for. So, I think he's similar to, do I want to say Axel? No. I don't want to say he's similar to Axel. I do want to say that all of his pros, as far as individual strength, are evened out by his cons. But I think he has one of the stronger win conditions in the game. When he fucking gets rolling, you are fucking dead. He's a power type, so obviously in terms of the power variable on his win con, it's fucking through the roof. Like literally, he's one of the few characters who can kill you in like 1.5 hits. It's actually insane. And it's very accessible as well. Like if he lands any normal on block, you got to start guessing which Typhoon he's gonna do. You probably know what Typhoon he's gonna do, but like, what if he decides to take an extra risk, right? And you can't really interrupt. You be like, you did the slower one. I'll press something. He's like, no, bitch. He's throwing out a disjoint. Like you got to back the fuck up, So it's accessible and the resistance is relatively low. FD does affect the pushback more, but in my opinion, the amount of tension you're losing for doing that, you're fucked. And again, that's kind of his win con. He wants you to use that tension gauge because if you don't get away, you're closer, you're further into the corner, right? Assuming you're in the middle of the screen or something. And the next time I do it, you don't have any meter. So now you got to discard. Now all of a sudden you're fucking guessing for your life. And you're like, oh, fuck, he has the drone too. And you're like, oh, shit. And then before you know, the fucking round's over. You just need to get opened up once. That risk gauge is building up. You're taking a fuck ton of block damage. And the whole time you're like, okay, which behemoth was that? And you're like, how plus was it? And boom, you're fucking dead. So in terms of win cons, I think he's phenomenal. But I do think he definitely has some shortcomings in neutral and defense as well. I think his saving grace though is the overdrive. One, he can like level it up. Like if he knows you're gonna press something, he can use that defensively, like, you know, like run up DP. He can use it like that, and he can use a little RC trick. I haven't seen any Goldlewis do it because they're typically, you know, either I'm stomping them because I'm just exploiting his neutral, or they're stomping me. So they don't need to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to put Goldlewis right here to the right of Ino. Even stronger win con. Even stronger win con. I guess we need to push Leo to the right a bit too then, huh? Let's talk Zato, my main, who I'm not going to downplay at all because I am aiming to be as objective as possible here. So let's talk Zato. So first off, does he have good neutral tools? I want to start things from neutral. Neutral to me is very important. And I think is all the situations I've kind of built out in relation with the maneuverability that he has with flight, which he's not fast, but he at least has all these different angles he can go with. With Eddie's normals, he can use in neutral too. He can literally play neutral with Eddie, in combination with the fact that his 5H is like properly works now, and it's pretty good in my opinion. 13 frames of startup, slightly disjointed, really fucking good move. In combination with that invite hell, I think he has every neutral tool that he needs. Also, his sweep, his 2D is fucking busted. I learned this yesterday. I don't know why. That shit starts in, what was it, 10 frames? I didn't know this. I had no idea. I was 2K'ing and 5K'ing for keep out. I'm never doing that shit ever again. I'm 2D'ing every time. 10 frames of startup, y'all. Look, 6 active frames. Bruh. That is a keep out button. And of course, you know, on sweep, it's Oki. And on block, he can go into a post stance. Which if you guys watch my guide on how to beat Zato, you know what's going to happen next and how to beat it. Anyway, so Zato's really cool. I think he has, obviously his convertibility is really, really nice. Not when he's solo Zato, but when he's got Eddie out, his convertibility is phenomenal. Like above average, because not only can he take half your health, he can also get Eddie back as you're getting up. It's actually fucking insane. His meter build is phenomenal too. The only thing he's lacking is, well, he's lacking a lot. He's lacking guts. He has 0 guts. He's very squishy. He's down there with Millia and Chipp. He will fucking explode. We've all seen the clips. No DP, no invincible reversal, 5-frame jab that like barely converts into anything. Honestly, it has failed me more times than I can fucking count. If it was a crouching like 5-frame jab, I'd be okay. But because of all of this, all those like negatives on defense, but he has a phenomenal offense, obviously. He's like the definition of glass cannon. Like when he's going, he's going. When he's not going, fuck. But I think he has more stable tools as a whole, and he can adapt with the kit he's been giving more than Goldlewis. So to me, he is better Goldlewis, and for that, he goes here. He's better Goldlewis, in my opinion. Talk Nago. Let's talk Nago. Let's talk Nago, because I know people do not like this character. You guys can already guess what his win con is. Do I need to say it? Yes, I do. Guess. Strike or throw. If you guess wrong, you lose. Everything is gone. Everything. Your burst is gone. Your health is gone. The match is over. You're like, damn, it's like that. It's fucking like that. Solid overdrive. Actually starts up at a reasonable time. Fantastic neutral tools. Keep out, he's got 5K. For neutral control, he's got crouch slash. And for whiff punishes, he can use either one of those things I just said, as well as pretty much Beyblade, basically. His kit is so mutable and good. It's good. It's good. It's good. But he's fucking slow. I've said it time and time again. If your goal isn't to take his health, but instead make him use blood gauge by getting distance and pressuring him to solve problems with his special moves, and then play him once he has 2 bars, it's like an old man hobbling across the screen. All he can do is hobble across the screen, throw out some fucking normals that you don't care about because you're gonna whiff punish him, and then or just hop. Like that's it. Like that's it. Just like instead of aiming to kill him, make him kill himself. Boom. You did it. That's the matchup. That's the fucking matchup. Harder said than done, right? No, easier said than done. Easier said than done. Right? Let me see the startup on this. Yeah, that's a good fucking character. Yeah, this is 9 frames of startup, if I'm reading this correctly, on his overdrive. But here's the thing. His matchup spread is good because whenever his base kit fails him, he has a special move that will save him. Because again, since all the special moves have penalties, they're really fucking good. Clone is a full-ass disjoint. And then when I say full-ass disjoint, I mean full-ass disjoint. Beyblade, the little, you know, butt slide, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Airborne frame 5. 14 frames of startup, disjointed, like basically a fucking wall is coming at you. 0 on block, technically plus, by the way. I have to explain that at some other stream how it's technically fucking plus. It's actually disgusting. I don't want to talk about it right now. But and it puts you right inside of his win condition. So not only is his win condition extremely powerful, it's extremely accessible. But if you watch my How to Beat Nago guide, you know that the resistance for it is really, really good. Like, they have a system built into the game that shuts down most of his strike throw. And that's fucking just FD. Just FD. Just FD. Literally, it shuts all that shit down. Shuts all that shit down. So if you target the blood gauge in FD appropriately, you should be good. But he will try to take you to the casino. He gets at least one shot. And the reason why is because his round start is one of the best in the game. One of the best in the game. I could not emphasize that enough in the video. I'm emphasizing it again here. Phenomenal round start. I don't even know anyone with a better round start. If you guys know who has a better round start, please let me know. But because he's slow, you can target the blood gauge. That would be cool, right? But then here's the fucking problem. Here's the fucking problem. Then they gave this individual a heavy man's backdash. And by that, he gets 6 invul frames on that shit. 6 invul frames. That's a fucking lot. Not a lot of moves are active for that long. And a lot of problem. That's like one of the few things he can rely on to solve problems for him, where he's like, shit, I don't have a special move for this. It's actually fucking disgusting. It saves him from things like Chipp's command grab. It can save him from things from like some of Baiken's Oki. It can save him from so much shit. For this reason, I would say in terms of overall strength, I would put him I'll put him right above these guys in terms of overall strength. And his win con is just as fucking oppressive through the sheer return and accessibility. Because just because the resistance is easy to do, right? What if you don't want to FD or you don't know when it's coming? A player like Kotashi with great game sense and tons of competitive experience he can lean on that shit, get you when you're not paying attention, and now all of a sudden you're in the fucking casino and you already pulled the damn slot machine and you're wondering what you're about to get. And you're probably going to get death. So for this reason, we got to put him over here. I would say, in terms of like strength, I would say it's because the resistance is so easy. I'd put it right there. It's stronger than Zato's because Zato's is multi-steps, right? Like I said in the video, his is literally 1 to 2 steps. Zato's is 3 steps. Normally, he can knock it down to 2, but he got to do something exceptional and neutral. This fucker, maximum 2 steps. Guess now. Guess now, Gohan. Anyway, that's Nago. How we feeling right now? Top tier? Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And the worst part, in season 2, they probably gonna buff him again. Which I'm not. Hey, I'm all for it, bro. I want to see, you know, the homie Nago on top. I'm fine with that. Who have we not done yet? Let's do Mei. Mei-sama. All right, we got Mei. Let's talk about Mei. Let's put her up here. All right, here's the thing about Mei. Not only is her neutral good, she has some of the best neutral tools in the fucking game. Like, straight up. Just straight up. Some of the best neutral tools in the game. I may have a Mei phase, but I don't want people to hate me, so I'm not going to do it. I already received enough hatred when I played Leah. But I only did that because I had to prove a point. And I now play Zato. And if you hate me, just hit me. Literally, I die. Okay? There you go. Leave me alone. So Mei's really, really cool, though. Fantastic normals. Return on most of her hits is phenomenal. If she's not taking all of your health, she's going to have fantastic set play as you're getting up. But where she fails is her fucking defense, right? She has still one of the best overdrives in the game. The invincible overdrive is fucking ridiculous. Like, it's really good. It even has a bunch of utility when you have like 100% bar. All that shit's great. And her ability to like use meter to like get to access to her win con. She can get to damage and win con. It's actually kind of gross. It's actually kind of gross. But yeah, all of her shit's really, really good. The only issue is like her ability to convert off the jab is really fucking not there. So if you ever lock her down and your save jumps are on point, she's fucking boned. Like, she's gonna have to fight. Like, fight. She gotta be scrappy. And she does not have the health or the iframes on her backdash to be scrappy. Another thing you may have noticed, she may have an anchor, but she ain't got a gun. That volleyball not gonna cut it. So, you know, characters like Axel can give her issues. Characters who, how do I put this, have really solid anti-air return are gonna be able to be like, yo, you gonna have to play neutral, like grounded neutral against me. Some characters do have like 1 or 2 better buttons than her, so she will have to figure out how to get around it. But basically, if someone like out neutrals her or like has better buttons than her, or forces her to jump a lot, she's gonna start running into issues really quickly. Basically, she can get zoned. Basically, like if I'm Kai and she's full screen, I'm like, bro, I'm a fireball, you gonna jump, I'm a 6P you, then you're gonna get knocked down, and I'm a fireball again, and we're gonna run this shit until you die. Like, that's literally, and she's like, fuck, right? She's like, she's got to really start flexing her kit to do it, and her kit's not that flexible, just like I talked about on how to beat the May guy. So, but a lot of characters in the game are not zoners, right? Guilty Gear is a game about interacting. Most of these kits are oriented towards being in your face to some extent. There's a lot of strike throw, especially in Strife. So as far as her matchup spread goes, she's like, yum, 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 they're all right next to me, right? And I have all I need. If I just use the system mechanics on defense, not try to use my kit, use the system mechanics, I can wrestle my way out and start running my nooch and start running that mix, and they're fucked. And like, everything she does hurts. The command grab combos near the corner, right? If she doesn't get that, she's gonna get fantastic Oki. Doesn't fucking matter. And almost any hit she gets, she should be taking a third or half of your health, depending on, you know, how tanky you are. She's just really fucking solid, and she doesn't even need to rely on dolphins. She does not need to rely on dolphins at all. But they're nice to have. The counter hit is ridiculous. Like, oh my god. I mean, I know everybody hates it when they get hit by it, but I don't think you need to say much about May. We've all been there. We've all been there. But is she strong as Nago? Is the question. Is she as strong as Nago? I would argue. Let me think this through. Actually, before I get there, yeah, in terms of overall strength, let's leave her where Nago is. Now let's talk about her win con. I guess we already did, right? Her win con, I mean, she's a strike throw character. That's her game plan. And her win condition is, I'm in front of you and I'm plus. You have to guess right now. It's the opposite overload. She's not really gonna high-low you to death. It's not what's gonna happen. And she got a little bit of the doomsday win condition in that, like, you have to do something or you're gonna start fucking dying, right? You have to do something or that risk gauge is gonna go up. And she has a bunch of ways. She has, you know, she can do frame traps too. She ain't got no problem doing that. She doesn't need to, but she can do that too. So her win con is pretty accessible. Of course, it's powerful, and you FDing isn't gonna really save you, because if you just FD her into her neutral range, and she's like, okay, so you lost, you know. So I'd say her win con is just about as strong as Soul's. It's just that, but she also has some of the issues that Soul has. This is where I think this is a good spot to put her. Soul has the reason why Soul, I would put her more to the right, because Soul can't do command grab all the time. He needs to keep corner. He needs to keep corner sometimes. She can do the command grab whenever the fuck she wants. She's not supposed to, but she can't. Take the extra bit of damage. She gets a little mini combo from mid screen with some solid Oki. I'd like to put her here, and the big reason why she's not here is the matchup spread is too damn solid. Most of the characters that they added, like only Happy Chaos, like what we got Goldlewis, he's not a zoner. We got Jacko, she's not a zoner. She can, like, you know, she has zoner attributes, right? Under certain contexts, if she wants to play that way, she can, but it's not going to be like nearly as effective as, like, you know, like playing strike throw for her, or like, you know, trying to frame trap people to death. And then we got Happy Chaos, who is a fucking zoner. We'll get to him. But then we got Baiken, she's not a zoner. And then we got Testament. They're not a zoner, but like they have zoner attributes. So her matchup spread is just so fucking good, and she's so simple, right? basically it's all on the player to like just solve some of the problems that she has, and she should be good. For that reason, we'll put her right here. But I won't say her win con is like the Messiah Saya. I'll put her right there. I'll put her right there for now. I could put her right here, but let's give Nago some breathing room. He already next to these two monsters. So Laust, I don't want. Let's start with Faust. Actually, yeah, let's start with Faust because the last two are going to be super interesting. Let's talk about Faust. So here's the thing about his neutral. It's actually all right. It's okay, but it's like there's always a con. So like his 5K, phenomenal. 8 frames of startup, 7 active frames, right? That even puts Anji's fucking 5K to shame, which is his 5K is really good, but just like Anji's 5K, you can 6P that, right? You can 6P Faust's far slash. His 6H did get buffed, but it's slow. Like it's clearly only supposed to be like a frame trap combo thing. It's not supposed to be a do this in neutral all the time kind of button. It's not what it is. And then when he goes low, he has an issue where Jacko wears crouch slash as an anti-air, so he can't use that. So now he's got to use 2K and 2D to kind of play under the belt, you know? If he goes for the crouch heavy, he could literally die. He can't just stop at crouch heavy. It's too negative on block. And then the special cancel options are Tornado, which is not safe, Scalpel, which can get 6P without the throw, or throw an item, right? And it's like, well, shit. Give me something safe to work with. You know, and he's like, oh, Scarecrow. Nope, not safe. So it's like, damn, like he can't play low to the floor. He wants to use keep out, but if you can stay low to the ground, like Gio is like, bro, I'm staying low and I'm going fast and low. There's nothing you can do about it. He's like, fuck, but he's got 2K multi-hitting low. He can kind of use that to wall you out, but like the first hit's up there. So like he really is having issues against the speedier cast, like the speedier characters in the game. It's really fucking rough. And then even if he gets the read, his options are, if he's not near the wall, his damage is subpar. No, it's just subpar. He needs to be near the corner to be on par with everybody else. That's not going to happen too much because naturally he wants to be doing one thing in neutral. I mean, in a neutral sense, he wants to be... the question he's posing to the opponent is, if you don't do something, you're going to let me throw an item. If I throw this item and it's good for me, right? The game state is now in my favor, and if it's in my favor, I'm gonna throw another item. Domino effect. You see what I'm saying? So the pressure's on you to go towards him, right? So he's naturally backing the fuck up. Like this is how it goes. So he's not near the corner too often, you know. His round start is like back up and then dive down, or do a crouch punch and then back up. Like it's always backing up. So he really needs to get steamrolling to get going. And he can steamroll a lot easier now because they gave him all these bonus attributes with his items. Like he's going to pull more items that are going to actually do damage or actually do things to the game state. And the buffs to throw, which I think is really nice. He can actually throw the throw off his head and then just cover the ground with it. And it's just a fucking rolling guard crush. I think that's really, really cool. J2K got some quality of life changes, but there's still too many holes. There's still too many holes in this kit. Like I said, he can't play under the belt. His return is low outside the corner. And his J2K, which is really, really nice. We saw Apology Man rocking that in the Kumite. And a lot of Faustus use it. It's really fucking good. But the issue is, if it's not really low to the ground, if it's one of those higher ones, if they do a higher one for whatever reason, if they try to do a special cancel, you just 6P. It's actually that bad. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy how bad it is. If you have a DP, you literally don't give a shit. And if all else fails and you don't react with any of these options, you can just wait out the tornado and he's kind of fucked. And if he goes for love or they'll throw his head the bag without the throw, it's like you don't care about that. You can literally jump up, make him explode. It's so fucking bad. So it's so variable. His playing up high is variable. Still some of the best air to airs in the game, but like trying to approach from a vertical is not very good. He can't play low to the floor, and he's usually taking risks when he has to special cancel a lot of the time. But he does at least have a win condition in that the throw. Once he applies the throw, you gotta guess, right? He gets access to the instant overheads. He could just go low again, but here's the problem. No matter which mix-up he goes for, the return is still fucking low. It's still low. The return is so low. If I mix you, like if I hit you with the throw like explodes or whatever. If I'm not in the corner, the return is still like... And if I want to like get more damage, it's like, all right, so I pushed you away from me, so I guess I'll throw an item. And the item could be bad, you know. So it's way too unstable. A little bit too unstable for me. So here's what we're going to do. His overall power level is low, and his win condition is also unstable. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. You can't build around RNG, and yeah. Not to mention his overdrive, if you don't do the RC trick, is basically not invincible. Like it doesn't. The frame data is so bad. He has to do the RC trick every single time. And once you know that, you'll just think of that as his default setting. You build around that, and there you go. All of a sudden, his invincible overdrive just became an RPS. It's fucking weird. It's fucking weird. So I will have to put him down here if I'm being realistic. If I'm being realistic, I will have to put him here. We want to talk Ram. Ram should be an easy one. Let's do Ram. She's pretty easy. So Ram is really cool because of course she wins neutral. Her convertibility is insane. If she's not killing you, she's pushing you in the corner, which is her win condition. When she has you in the corner, you are now a fucking, how do I even put this without getting banned? You are now, you're playing a Mario Party minigame. I would literally play the Mario Party minigame music. Do 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 do. You gotta go high or low. If you do nothing, she's building risk, and then she throws you, and then you're in the situation again. FD is not gonna save you because similar to May, you just pushed her back into her optimal range. She does not fucking care. Of course, her return is phenomenal. She basically hits you twice, you're going to lose. Her anti-burst is fantastic. Her meter conversions just allow her to play to her win con even better. She just pretty much plays Guilty Gear Strive the best, which we already knew from the first beta. All they've done is basically tone her down and make some adjustments, but she's still playing Guilty Gear Strive with the best of them. Similar to May, the only problem that she can solve that May can't really solve is that she can deal with people who are zoners because she has fucking bigger buttons. So it's less of an issue. It's less of an issue. May has to use her outmaneuverability. Ram can just be like, that's disjointed, this is disjointed, and that's disjointed. Oh, and by the way, zoner, this overdrive is dumb. So if you do fucking anything, I'm gonna do it and half your health is gone. By the fucking way, right? So she's definitely with these people in terms of overall strength. I think her win condition is, I'd say it's more stable. I'd say it's more stable than Nago's. I'd say, and it's more accessible because everything she does is pushing you to the, literally her existence at round start is like, fuck, I need to back up, right? Or like, I gotta hold my ground, but it's never like you're instinct. You can't really just advance on her for free, right? So this is what I want to do. I want to put her here, but I want to push Nago to the left because I want to emphasize how stable her win condition is. She's always doing it, always. She's never not doing it. Nago can just be like, oh, I hit you, I'll just do the combo, right? But like if Nago's full screen, he can kill you for full screen too. The only reason I'm putting her here is like she's always doing it, and like Nago has like the blood gauge problem. He has to solve that while he's fighting. So I think they're both strong. Like if I could overlap them, I could. The only reason I won't overlap them is that Nago has to worry about blood gauge. She doesn't have to worry about it. She's just like, I'm doing it. Let's talk Happy Chaos. So a lot of people are running into some issues with this character. First of all, his potential is off the charts. The gun is insane. But it's limited. It's limited. It allows him to do left, right, high, low, and strike throw in a way that's unprecedented in the game. And it's highly variable. He does not have to do the same mix-up. Everyone else is operating off a Gatling system. He makes his own fucking Gatling. As long as he got a bullet in the chamber, either you gotta respect it. You just gotta respect it. It just creates extra block stun. It allows his convertibility to be through the goddamn fucking roof. He can carry you from left to right, no fucking problem. No problem. People are just getting better and better. His block strings are ridiculous. I think he like has his block string in the corner where it's like a 1-2 frame gap. So now, and you can't even really grab. You can't grab out of it. He's too far away, but he's still in close fast range somehow. So it's really fucking gross. He can wall stomp you at will. He literally does not give a fuck. He's a big knowledge check, honestly, up close, because he has weaknesses, right? Like the stand kick into the forward kick. You can grab that. He can plug that hole though with stand kick into forward slash, right? But now you got to be like, okay, so what are his cancel options? Okay, he's gonna pull out the gun and then start shooting if you didn't already have the gun out, right? It's just this big thing. It's like, did you know? Are you paying attention? Is the gun out? Okay, the gun's not out, so it means he can pull it out. All right, I have to do. It's my turn now. right? And then it's like, oh shit, the gun's already out. I guess I'll press something. And he's like, nope, I got you, bitch. And then, so it's really, really rough. And, you know, FD's cool and all, but like, you don't know how long you're going to be in the block zone. You don't know what he's going to do. So FD is going to have like a, it has a very variable return. There's so many variables, so much you don't know going on. And that's why he has access, I think, to all 3 of the win cons. 1 being option set overload, 2 being guess motherfucking now, 3 being doomsday, which again is, if you don't stop me from doing this, eventually you're going to get hit. Due to the nature of me just doing this over and over. The weakest of the 3 though. Most characters can do the 3rd one. So he has access to all 3. In exchange though, god damn, he's got 1 guts. I mean, I think he's slightly healthier than Zato. Slightly. Maybe not even. I'll have to do some tests. We'll have to do some tests to figure out. He's slightly healthier. No invincible overdrive, right? And his neutral, believe it or not, is actually can be a little shaky. All he has going for him is his 11 frame crouch slash. He does have the haymaker. You can just 6p that, honestly. But, yeah. So all he really has is that crouch slash. So once you defeat that button, which you either just summon a bigger disjoint, which the rest of the top tiers I ain't gonna have an issue with. That's for fucking sure. And it's also whiff punishable. It's also very weird. It's more whiff punishable than Nago's crouch slash, which I would argue Nago's crouch slash is like bordering on not whiff punishable. His is definitely whiff punishable, and he sure as hell can't do it twice in a row. He can't really spam it like Nago can for that reason. So the window of opportunity is much higher, much higher. And he doesn't, you know, he actually explodes when he gets hit. So I mean, like, if there was a character who had no defensive attributes, it would be this guy. But he does beat Zato. And the reason why is he can do 5p, 6p, shoot you, run the shit. Run the set play, run the mix. He doesn't care. Zato can't be like, all right, you know, 5p, 6p, summon Eddie combo. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. We still haven't figured out how to streamline that, even though I think that is in development as we speak. But Eddie has to be available for that, right? And all he needs is a bullet. And now his 5p is a fucking problem, right? People aren't good at it yet, but they will get it. This character's going to take some time. He did relatively come out soon, right? So, but let's talk about his win con. So as far as overall strength, I got to put him, let's put him here. Let's put him here. Let's talk about this win condition though. So for those who don't know, his win condition is when the curse is put on top of you, he has full concentration and he has 6 bullets. At this point, you are not allowed to move. You are only allowed to tap the dash macro and hold down back. That is your only option. He is going to then shoot you on guard about 3 or 4 times, reload, throw the ball, do that shit again. Until you, as a human being, say, I paid $60 fucking dollars. I'm going to play this game. You get shot. And remember that convertibility we talked about? Yeah, there goes half your fucking health. He gets positive bonus. Now he can be even more silly. Now he can start styling on you. He's one of the few characters, he can play the inside and the outside. And in a game where a lot of characters don't have answers to you playing the outside, he's kind of king. He's the king zoner. Axel's the prince. He's the king. He's the first character we have who says, I'm standing right fucking here. You're gonna have to fucking deal with it. Fuck you. That's it. Like, you have to fucking wait it out. The way you beat it, guys, and I may have to do a Happy Chaos guide on this. The way you beat it is he cannot apply the same amount of force without the curse. Okay? When the curse is not available, when you just sprint, he can't lock on to you. Right? So now he has to either stop aiming or he has to spend more time allowing the crosshair to lock on, which attacks the focus gauge. So now that you're allowed to attack the focus gauge because you dodged the curse, you can kind of move in, but you don't have to commit to the move in like before, right? Because you knew you're going to get pushed back. Now you can go in and out. And he's like, shit, I only have half concentration. He's a lot closer now. I'll press crouch slash. And you're like, I already have an option to beat that. And he's like, fuck, right? So his win con is, I have the curse apply and I have full resources. Your ass is sitting right now, or I'm about to schmix the fuck out of you. So the thing is, though, the thing about his win con is there are characters who have anti-neutral tools who just say, fuck whatever you're doing. May can go dolphin right now. Like, I'm fast dolphining right now. She's traveling across the fucking screen. What's his name? Beyblade Boy? Beyblade Boy, Nago, just says Beyblade. Like, I don't care about anything that you're doing. I don't give a fuck. Anti-neutral. Ram is neutral, so that she's anti-neutral in that regard too. So a lot of the other characters who are also top tier can be like, yo, your neutral's not better than mine, so I'm not letting you set up. But even if they get set up on, even they fall prey to, oh shit, I have to fucking block this. I have to wait until I get out of the way of curse. And yeah, it's fucking fucked. I think he has one of the strongest win conditions in the game, for sure. Simply through, not necessarily through the return, but the fact that he can just keep fucking doing it, keep fucking doing it, keep fucking doing it, and you're like, I have to do something. And he's like, you sure right, you do, you should jump. And the next thing you know, you got fucking wall broken from top of the fucking map. So I think, and the reason why people are sticking with him, even though he's fucking hard, is they know that he's fucking good. It's just so hard. He's so hard. But you can see it. He has the building blocks in his kit. It's like, no, if you just get a little bit better there, boom, boom, bam, bam. And you're like, oh, then you start sliding over here. And you're like, oh, I don't have to interact with you, soul, because I'm fucking full screen. I'm not putting him up there, though. I don't know if I'm putting him up there, though. Oh, I can't put him up there. He's no defense. I will put him to the right of Ram. I think he has one of the strongest win conditions in the game. You know he has the strongest win condition in the game because it's the only thing he's been like, him alongside Nago have been the most complained about characters since Guard Crush got nerfed, quote unquote. Everyone's trying to figure out the Happy Chaos problem, and the Happy Chaos problem is if you let him set up, you're gonna have to sit. That's literally what it is. It doesn't do a lot of chip damage, but like he's running out the time. He's hitting you, and you're not hitting him. So he's building up tension. Once he starts building up tension, he's allowed to get more ignorant, and yeah, he just snowball from there. But if you hit him, he explodes. So it's like Zato plus. It's like you want to work just a little bit harder than Zato. Pick this character. That brings us to Testament Sama. Let's talk Testament, y'all. This is a good character. This is probably one of the best DLC characters. No, this is the best DLC character of the season for a bunch of reasons. One, the aesthetic is phenomenal. Non-binary character. Let's go Dice K. Let's go Team Marx's. All that's great. The soundtrack is phenomenal. I love the whole character, but functionally in the game, pick up and play as fuck. More importantly, 11 frame crouch slash with decent range. Buttons are Humongousaurus Rex, even though most of them can be 6P'd. We'll get to that. And probably one of the best projectiles in the game. If you guys have not noticed, they do not want projectiles to be good in this game. I don't think any of the top tiers besides Happy Chaos are like, look at me, look how good my projectile is, right? Like Leo has a good projectile. Nago gets penalized. It has to be good, right? But like no one's like, there's not like, you know, even Kai has a great projectile, but like it's not like the Messiah. You can literally 6P through it. They don't want projectiles to be good, but I think that Testament has one of the best projectiles in the game. One of the reasons why it's so great is how fast it recovers. Most of the time, if they block their projectile or even jump over it in a lot of different contexts, I'd say about 80% of the context when you jump over their projectile, they're going to be able to 6P you. They're going to be able to 6P you and apply their win condition. Notice I said apply the win condition, not, you know, complete the win condition. So, again, this character has above average neutral. Convertibility is above average. I wouldn't say it's anything to be like, wow. Defensive tools, though. Defensive tools, though, is where shit gets a little iffy. I don't know if you guys know, but their overdrive is on the slower side, so standard safe jumps do apply. Standard safe jumps do apply. They got one gut. The defense is not very good. You don't really have a reversal. They do have a solid 6P. Anti-air is phenomenal. 5P is really, really good. They do have anti-system mechanics, right? FD's not going to save you from them. And they have pretty easy burst safe routes. We haven't developed them yet, but I'm sure they're there. I'm sure they're there. I'm sure I figured out some while I was getting out the Testament video. So, great return there. Yeah, so that brings us to their win condition, which is applying stain. And again, I use the word apply because once it's multi-stepped, which immediately eliminates them from being top tier. And and here's the thing: you have to apply the stain and then get the hit. So, you know, you have to apply the stain, get the hit, and then be close enough because the return isn't so high from far away without meter. You know, so a lot of characters, especially the top tier ones, they're like, once I get you in the win condition, once that has been accessed and I get the hit I'm supposed to get, it's party time. Now it's like, okay, but where am I when I got the hit? That's the question Testament has to ask that the other top tiers don't have to ask. So it's multi-step and variable depending on range. And that's what sets them apart. That's what won't let Testament party with the big boys. They can't party over here. They cannot. It's a multi-step win condition. But they have above average tools. And so to finish this tier list off, I have to put Testament in this little spot here that I made. And that's why I had to put them all in certain spacings. I think that's a good spot. There we go. The definitive Kairos FGC Season 1 tier list. I hope this is a lot more reasonable than the one before. I think putting the 2 axes, defining each of the variables, really puts it all together for us. I think this is really, really, really good. Obviously, the game is in a great state. Like I said, you can pick anybody you want. Literally, just fucking play them. It does not fucking matter. If you lose, it's your fault. There you go. There we go. I don't know what it's... I'll play Faust right now.